Alright guys, one of the main problems with these trucks is that they get old, and when they get older, they get rusty, stuff starts oxidizing, deteriorating, stuff starts getting nasty, and that's what we're going to do, is going to show you guys how to fix some of that stuff. What I have here is, here's rust all over my brake line. I actually have a leaky brake line down there. We're gonna fix that. We got some, I believe it's like copper, nickel plated, some special type of brake line we got off eBay. Wasn't too expensive, I think $60. My brother did that TBI Silverado that's on this site. You guys seen that one? He redid all the brake lines in that one. He redid a buddy's brake lines, he did one of them, and now I'm doing mine, and we have all this left, so it's a really good investment. You're not going to spend $500 at a mechanic shop to get it done, and $60 you can get, you know, a lot of vehicles done with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you guys how to flare these, put the nut on, and find your brake leak, and address it, and fix a problem. So, alright, so what I did is I found a brake leak, and I traced it up to this, and then I traced that line all the way to the back rear tire to the left. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take this off here so we can get the old brake line out and the new one in. Alright, we got that one off. One thing you want to do is, brake fluid is very deteriorating. It's just like fingernail polish remover, and it will eat away all your paint. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to put a towel or something under there, stop it from getting over stuff you don't want it to get over. Alright, let's get this under here. Now after you take this thing off, there's no going back, because after that, geez, I might be able to just drip down there. We'll see. But after you take this off, you have air in your lines, you're going to have to bleed them anyways, and it's, you know, oh, that sucker's empty. So there's nothing to it. Alright, so we're going to make work on getting these out. Alright, we trace the brake line back to here, all the way back to right here. I really hope that's the right one. What we're going to do is we're going to take that off and put the new one on. Alright, we got that off there. Rip the nut right off. So. Alright, I threw the whole roll down there. We got our tube here. The part where it's disconnected, which is right here. And we're going to flare it. Alright, first what I did is I slid the coupling or whatever on there. Alright, so we got our flaring tool. We got the thing on there for flaring. Well, my nut was on there, but it slid down all the way. And now what we're going to do, we're going to start twisting and we're going to flare this. Alright, here we go. I got that nut on there. I flared it. Give you a good view of this flare here. Looks pretty darn good to me. Probably doesn't get much better than that. And we're going to try this, make sure it doesn't leak or anything, but so far that looks pretty good. Flaring tool, pretty easy to use. If you don't know how to use one, you can look it up, and if you don't have one, you can get one from, you know, basically any hardware store. It might be a little pricey, maybe 20 bucks, I don't know. I don't know how much this one was, but it's worth your buck, because you'll be able to do quite a bit of vehicles, and even so, it'll still be cheaper than having a mechanic do it. Or just see if a buddy has one you can borrow. What the heck is this thing? Alright, if you guys make a mistake like I did, this right here is the wrong size nut or whatever. It's the wrong size. It doesn't fit in there, so I made that mistake. So what we're going to do is we're going to put that aside there, and we're going to use this, and it's used for cutting like copper tubing and whatnot for many different sizes. So we're going to put that on there and go around and cut it and fix it. And try not to make that mistake, because these things are kind of hard to come by. So, alright, what you guys need to know is that your kit comes with all the correct nuts for everything. I've tried one nut in there that didn't work, and I really don't want to use the old one. I tried the big blue one. Now we're going to try this one. I have a feeling it's going to work. We're just going to try it in there before we go and put it on the tube. Alright, yep, that works. So that's what we need for this one. and we're gonna reflare it and get going. All right, I got this one flared. This is the correct nut this time. Is that flared enough? I don't know. We'll see if it leaks or not, but for now, I'm just gonna push this down there, see if we can get it into there. All right, got that new one screwed in there. What we're gonna do, I might just leave that old line in there just for now. Then when I need something to do, I'll get rid of it, but for now, you know, I'm gonna need it. All right, so now we're just gonna tighten it down good and tight, you know, get it good, get it hand tight first, and then do it with a wrench the rest, and not do it too tight because you don't want to strip it out, but you know. All right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna follow that all the way along to the back to where we need to connect it in the other. All right, we got a line right here, following all the way out up over there. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be pretty. You're gonna waste your time if you do want it to be pretty, but you know, it's kind of hard to bend to the way you want it. But now we're at that part. All right, I just tightened that one down into there. Fit pretty well. Everything is looking pretty good. That's the only brake line that's leaking of my knowledge, but it's not leaking anymore because there's a new one there. Now the next thing we need to do is go get some brake fluid. That way we can bleed all that air out of the brakes because this is full of air. And after that, we shouldn't have a leak anymore. So it's pretty cool.